You ever stop and think about how that thing you just bought, whether it's a coffee or a new phone, actually got to you? It probably traveled hundreds, maybe thousands of miles. It feels kind of like magic, right? But it's not. It's a really complex, mostly invisible system called a marketing channel. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this unseen network that literally brings the world to your doorstep.
But first, let me ask you something. When you think about any big business, who do you think is really calling the shots? Is it the genius company that designs and manufactures some amazing new product? Or is it the giant retailer that puts it on the shelf in front of millions of people? The answer, well, it's probably not what you think.
Because here's the deal. The whole game has changed. Over the last 20 years or so, the real economic muscle hasn't gone to the makers, but to the distributors. We're talking about the huge players like Walmart or Big Bazaar. They're the gatekeepers. The big takeaway is that getting a product to you has become every bit as powerful, if not more so, than actually making the thing in the first place. All right, so what are we even talking about here? What exactly is one of these powerful marketing channels? Let's get into the blueprint of how it all works. Okay, so here is the official kind of textbooky definition. It's an external, contractual organization that a company uses to hit its distribution goals. Now, the two words you really want to lock onto there are external and contractual. This means we're not talking about a department inside the company. We're talking about a whole network of outside partners, think wholesalers, retailers, delivery guys, all working together on a coordinated plan. And this visual right here, it makes it super simple to understand. On one end, you've got the producer, the company making the stuff. On the other end, you've got the buyers. That's us. And right there, smack in the middle, is the intermediary. This is your classic middleman. And they are the absolutely essential link that connects the two. Now, this brings us to a huge myth you hear all the time. Oh, just cut out the middleman and everything will be cheaper. Well, it's just not that simple. You see, you can get rid of the company acting as the intermediary, sure, but you can't get rid of the actual work they do. You know, things like storing inventory, breaking down huge shipments into smaller boxes, handling all the payments. Somebody has to do those jobs. And if it's not the middleman, then it's either going to be the producer or, you guessed it, you. Okay, so now we're going to go a level deeper, and this is where it gets really cool. A marketing channel isn't just a physical road that a truck drives down. It's a living, breathing system with 5 different flows running through it all at once. Think of them like the channel's circulatory system and its nervous system. Whoa. Okay, I know this looks a bit like a complicated subway map at first glance. You've got the product, negotiation, ownership, information, and promotion flows all weaving around each other. But trust me, it's actually a pretty brilliant picture of all the different things happening behind the scenes. So let's break them down one by one. First up, we've got the product flow. This is the one that makes the most sense because it's the one we can actually see. It's the literal, physical journey of the goods, from the factory floor onto a truck or a ship into a warehouse to the store and finally into your shopping bag. It's the path the box travels. Next, we have the negotiation flow. Now, look closely. See how the arrows go in both directions? That's the key. This flow isn't a one-way street. It's the back and forth dance of making deals, the buying, the selling, the haggling over terms. It's a constant conversation that makes it possible for the product to actually change hands. And all that negotiation leads directly to the ownership flow. Now, this is different from the physical flow. This is all about who legally owns the product at every single step. It's like the title on a car. And here's a really important point. A shipping company might be physically holding the product, but they never actually take ownership. That's a huge distinction. Then we've got the brains of the whole operation, the information flow. And again, check out those two-way arrows. Everybody is talking to everybody else. The store tells the manufacturer what's selling, the manufacturer sends out shipping updates. It's this nonstop river of data that keeps the whole system from falling apart. And finally, we have the promotion flow. This is how you even hear about the product in the first place. It's all the advertising, the sales, the social media campaigns, all the stuff designed to get you excited to buy. And notice, there's a new player here, the ad agency. They're a critical partner in getting that persuasive message out to you. So, that's all the theory. Pretty interesting, right? But what does it actually look like in the real world? Well, I want to show you an absolutely brilliant case study in channel innovation from a company in India called Hindustan Lever Limited, or HLL. See, HLL knew that a huge, diverse country like India couldn't be served by a one-size-fits-all approach. It just wasn't going to work. So they built a whole bunch of different channels. For rural villages, they created something called Project Shakti. For the cities, they built a direct selling network.
For people on the move, they put vending machines everywhere. They even created their own service channels like beauty salons. They didn't just drive on the existing roads, they built brand new ones. And the sheer scale of their vision is it's mind-blowing. Project Shakti wasn't some small test program. They were aiming to reach over 100,000 small villages. We're talking about connecting with over 100 million people in rural India who before this were basically unreachable by big companies. But here's the most amazing part of the whole story. At the very heart of this strategy were people. The core of Project Shakti was a group of women they called the Shakti Ammas. These were women from local villages who were trained and empowered to become entrepreneurs. They weren't just salespeople, they were brand ambassadors and business owners in their own communities. And this brings us to a much bigger point. A really well-designed distribution channel isn't just about moving boxes and making money. It can be an incredible force for real social and economic change.
And you don't have to take my word for it. Just listen to this quote from HLL's leadership. Their goal wasn't just about selling more products. As he says right here, a major goal was to give 25,000 underprivileged women a path to genuine economic independence. So when you really put it all together, you realize that these marketing channels are way more than just supply chains. They're engines. Yeah, they move products, but they also create tons of jobs. They help people become entrepreneurs, and they can be a huge part of building a stronger, more inclusive economy for an entire nation. Which leaves us with one final big question to chew on. We've seen these channels evolve from these incredible grassroots networks all the way to today's crazy AI-driven logistics. But what's next? As technology just keeps rewriting all the rules of how we buy and sell, what do you think the next great channel innovation is going to be? What unseen network is being built right now as we speak?